And here we go.
Kieran Lagabiru, Paul.
And a Kieran Lagabiru to you, Adam.
Kieran Lager. Come on. この味がビール。切れ味醍醐味。キリンラガービール。
Sorry, I know you were going to go into something else, but it's kind of like you say it, it's like Beetlejuice. It just happens.
Oh, absolutely. No, I would expect nothing less. In fact, I praise your acumen at accurately running the show. I said it. I said Kieran Lagabiru, which you just can't say without something coming up. Yeah. And it appears. So, Kieran Lagabiru to you, Paul.
Yes.
This week, Confess Fletch. Confess Fletch. John Hamm is Chevy Chase. And you're not.
Also this week, The Woman King. Now, in light of recent events, you may be thinking too soon, but to us, it feels right on schedule.
Nonsense! To the rescue!
What in the name of David Lean was that?
That was the Man-Thing. I don't know. We'll get to it later in the show. I think we have a few things prepared first, but the world debut of Man-Thing has happened. I'm very excited because I just love my obscure superheroes and the obscure comics that I read as a kid. And yes, I own Man-Thing on DVD. I also own a Marvel Classics a Man-Thing compendium right here. I also own a Man-Thing action figure. I got all kinds of Man-Thing things.
Man-Thing is not the Thing from Fantastic Four.
Not the Thing, and not to be confused with Swamp Thing. No. Not to be confused with
pretty green.
Man-Bat. Yes, he's very green. I'll tell you what, I loves me a swamp creature. It all comes from that. When I was a kid, you didn't get a whole, and it's hard to tell the kids these days, you didn't get a lot of superhero movies when you were a kid like I was. And then every once in a while, Swamp Thing would be in theaters, so you would see it 5 times because they're going to release no other superhero movies in the year. So I loved Swamp Thing, Wes Craven's Swamp Thing, and then that bled into Thing comic books and Man-Thing comic books as well. So yeah, and we'll be discussing, I have a few Man-Thing clips to bring to you that we'll discuss later in the show. But yeah, that was Man-Thing from my own DVD copy of the Man-Thing straight-to-video movie when it was owned by, I forget, somebody.
Y'all are spoiled today with all your superhero nonsense. Speaking of nonsense, welcome to Movie Nonsense. It's 3 p.m. on Monday, so that means it's time for the show, whether we're ready to do it or not. And
somehow we pull it off.
We never say our names. My name's Paul Preston. This is Adam Witt.
And I'm Adam Witt of the Chicago Sun-Times.
And I'm Paul Preston of the Chicago Tribune. This week, we've got our trailer jam. We'll talk about what's coming out. We'll talk about, I got a report from Halloween Horror Nights, which I had a preview that I attended to get you all ready for. Well, the opening weekend was last weekend, but now it's running through Halloween. And I went to D23 Expo for one of the 3 days, but a lot of news came out of all 3 that we got to go over. But hey, if you love our show, just, please tell your friends. Follow us on social media. It's pretty much at the movie.
Make it their problem.
Yeah. Make them be the losers who haven't tuned in.
You haven't? You haven't
and, of course, the show is free. So also, you can get them in, I think, with that little nugget. Just tell them it's a free show.
But we have comps available.
Yeah. How many free streaming shows are there on the web that offer free comps?
No.
And, of course, you can go to themovieguys.net for podcasts that we appear on. And we're jumping all over the web on people's podcasts. Just this last week, we were both featured in Let's Get Ready Network's various articles from Schmodown players reflecting on their time in the league. So you can go read those. I put the links in our social and other stuff as well, all over at themovieguys.net. If you don't do as we say. If you're not doing exactly what we're telling you to do, then we are going to insult you. Like this.
How old are you?
I'm old.
You're not old. You're not even a person. You're a testicle. You're made mostly of hair.
Right. We found a new drop, Paul?
I just said to myself, I need some Death of Stalin drops in this thing, and I couldn't find the deep cut ones I wanted, but I found that one. And of course, this is just for no reason. That kind of led into that line with saying we will insult you, and then
seamless.
Rupert Friend, then Obi-Wan Kenobi's Rupert Friend does 2 or 3 insults across the room, but he also gets engaged in a. He plays Stalin's son, and he's all pissed that Stalin's dead, and people don't know how to run the country now or what happened to his body. So, but he's helpless. He's weak. He's just a loudmouth. He's kind of lame. And so he's going to leave, but he's going to make one last attempt to steal a gun. Watch.
You have all made a deadly mistake.
Excuse me.
That's right. Off you go, kitten.
God, I love good comedy directing.
Just keep the gun away from him. I've got loads anyway. Have you forgotten how to salute?
No, sir.
Then salute me. Now, let that be a warning.
That's so good. Oh my God, I love that movie.
Yeah, Armando Iannucci, for all those who don't know,
know,
taking the total piss out of all the legendary communist leaders who sort of had to put
The radio broadcast On the Hour by Armando Iannucci and several other consistent collaborators.
Mm.
When I first heard of his name and realized, like, it's one of those things where you go, oh, wait, he was behind this, this, and this, which I already like. You know, you're like, oh, that's the name. So then I just started looking him up, but he had a BBC radio program, which I just love, BBC radio comedies. You know, they still do kind of classic comedies, classic radio stuff. But there's a sketch show called On the Hour, but it was like a news program, and it just had all these great little twists of phrase and twists of premise and stuff. I don't know. Good stuff. Look it up.
That's cool. Yeah, I of course, I'm told weekly by my girlfriend I need to watch Veep, and I never have. And that's, of course, now probably his greatest accomplishment because of the awards and the amount of time it was on. And
yeah,
you know, so he got to do
it's a great show. And we have friends of the show on Veep. We got Pete Gross is on there. Matt Walsh is on there.
Yeah. So what's coming out this week? We've got with The Woman King. We talked about it at the top. This looked like a departure for Viola Davis, who you usually see in your sort of sturdy dramas, and here she finds herself in sort of an action story about. Let's take a look.
That's this Friday.
That's this Friday. Let's take a little peek at the movie.
An evil is coming that threatens our kingdom, our freedom. But we have a weapon.
Sold, right?
Oh, yeah. Sold. Sold. Done. In.
VHS.
VHS, baby. Yeah, and for everybody who's like excited waiting for a new like Wakanda Forever trailer, not to compare the two because this is based on real life. I mean, and also this is based on how the Queen screwed up, right? This is like the British War, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, the timing on this is like, yeah, the Woman King. I don't know. The timing of this is very interesting, but God, she looks so badass. The way this trailer is so badass. And compare like a sort of like, you know, like Black Panther. Of course, I'm a comic book guy, but like that sort of like warrior influence on the Doge Melage, the Melage,
Dora Milaje.
Dora Milaje. You know, like that's all. Like the influences on that are things like this. So this is sort of like, all right, you like that little tiny piece of Black Panther, you like our women kicking ass. Here's the real story, and let's have Viola Davis do it. By the way, like it's just pretty awesome, man. This movie looks awesome. I'm very excited every time the trailer comes on. We've seen it a bunch.
No, absolutely. It should kick ass again. Taking a high class performer like that and putting him I know this genre is still probably going to be drama in the end, but also action.
I mean, they're showcasing the action, but it's it's the historic event and the history behind it. I mean, I kind of hope there's like a little bit of like a David Lean aspect where you do see like both sides.
Okay, for me, Adam, you're totally frozen. I don't know if everyone sees that. And it's interesting because it happens routinely. Like every couple minutes, you freeze for a second. Now you're frozen for a long time. It could be me. Is it me? I don't have a little thing up here that says I have low service. I got full bars and full everything. But maybe I should just start talking about stuff. Maybe I'll address the comments. David B says, oh, yeah, he's frozen. He's frozen for us too. Well, there are your comments. And you're looking forward to hear about Duran. What? On a movie show? I'll make that happen. All right. So Adam's going to have to go away and come back again. And the interesting thing is he may not even hear that I said that. Oh, clearly he did. All right. He's gone. Yes, Adam is frozen. Not me. I know that I'm not frozen. Because, again, I would get a little thing up in the corner that says I got no service, but I got some service. So let me talk about, we were just talking about briefly the Queen Elizabeth, you know, it's the English in The Woman King may not be represented so well. But, of course, everyone seems to enjoy Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And, you know, we can't forget that she has a great history in film as well. The Naked Gun. You know The Naked Gun. At least I imagine these people would. I of course, blamed it. So later on, of course, this is her appearing. It's not really the Queen. It's an actress. Appearing at a California Angels baseball game where there's going to be a plot on her life. But before that happens, this happens because Naked Gun.
So, as the Angels take the field, we're about ready for the first pitch ceremony with the Queen of England ready to toss out the first ball.
How about that Queen, ladies and gentlemen? Let's have a nice round of applause.
And whoever that actress is, I should look her up. But again, we don't do that. Good for her. Now, of course, the Queen passing so closely after Mikhail Gorbachev, speaking of Russians, also passed away recently, and one of the people instrumental in helping tear down the Berlin Wall and sort of calm the rise of ugly communism in Russia. But he passed away too. And we all remember when he was on The Naked Gun. Such reverence there from the Zucker brothers and Jim Abrams. Do the Russians love their children too? Fair question. And they've been sent to war many, many times, including some other news I wanted to mention. Somebody on Twitter posted recently that War and Peace, the great Tolstoy novel that was adapted into a massive, 5 or 6 hour film back in 1966, is available to watch for free on something called Mosfilm, or Mosfilm, Mosfilm, on YouTube. All 4 parts are uploaded, and you can just go watch this massive epic. I had no idea of this movie's massiveness And lo and behold, it is. I'm going to show you a clip, and you'll see what I mean. No CGI. This is 1966, just Russian filmmaking, and it's pretty. This scene isn't. If this doesn't make you want to watch the whole thing, I'll give you. Of course, it's War and Peace. This is mostly war, so it's pretty exciting. Hopefully, the peace stuff is exciting too. But here we go. A lot of Russian stuff today. I don't know why. But here you go. Wow.
Wow.
Welcome back. In the middle of that, you're probably going, huh?
No, I saw.
Oh, God, you're frozen again. Oh, and you're back.
Oh,
this is what's been happening. You kind of go out for a set.
Well,
you come back.
all the power, this whole station reset when I froze last time.
Oh.
Yeah. It everything went down.
Kerflugi.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's because I had the AC on. So, damn that AC. Can't have the AC and a show going on. Come on.
Yeah, I have a fan. There's been a slight hum underneath all of the last 10 shows with just a fan on me. I can't not have it. So anyway, that was a guy named Bondarchuk. I don't even know his first name, but he made this War and Peace epic, and that was just a clip someone put online saying, "Hey, the whole movie's up on YouTube." I'm like, I'm going to watch that movie. That scene is insane, and it goes on like that for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes of just thousands of extras and huge, like long tracking shots, very Kubrickian for 1966. Before he was even doing that in The Shining or Full Metal Jacket.
Impossible to pull off those shots.
Yeah, it was insane.
And then and you see little things as it goes past or whatever, and then you see like an extra that's like on fire, and you're like, they had to set that person on fire and set him down like as the camera's moving, like, all right, now get that over there. Yeah, need to do another take. Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, there'll be no running to put that guy out. Someone did put that guy. That guy's on fire, but you let it go. I found another clip here. I was jumping all over the place while you were gone, Adam. But this didn't upload properly before, but now I have it. As we were remembering Queen Elizabeth II. Oh, and here's another good way to do that, as this clip goes.
It's disgusting the way they splash this stuff all over the newspapers. What is journalism coming to? You're laying on top of the Queen with her legs wrapped around you, and they call that news.
Rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth II.
A lot of dead people in that clip. Everybody pretty much. George Kennedy, right? And I think so.
We're reaching that age where all of our favorite movies are populated with dead people.
Montalban. Hey, now that you're back, Adam, check your. You know what? Your background looks better than ever, but check your mic. Make sure you're talking through your mic.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second here. Make sure everything didn't go wacky here.
Oh, hey, someone agrees with me. Adam sounds quiet. And when does that happen?
Look at that. There we go. Oh, my gosh. Yes. There's a big difference. There's a big difference between the mic that's on this camera
The other trailer I wanted to talk about real quick, besides the Woman King, is up in Toronto. A lot's going on, and the Fabelmans played up there, and a trailer came out, and I just want to show you hopefully an unstrikable amount of that trailer. Here we go. Spielberg now, he made a musical, now he's doing his life story sort of metaphor.
How does this guy change the game up all the time? Like, what he's doing is always different and always executed on a Spielberg level. He's the greatest director of all time, period.
And I think at this time it's now, what do I want to do? I don't need to be, contractually obligated to something. He didn't do the latest Indiana Jones. He's probably like, been there, done that, 75. I'm going to reflect now and tell a story about when I was a kid.
Movies are dreams that you never forget. Sammy?
Lights change how everything looks. It's hard to find our house.
Ours is the dark house with no lights.
In this family, it's the scientists versus the artists. Sammy's on my team, takes after me.
Yeah. Before we get tagged.
Let's
melt hearts and maybe get Michelle Williams her much-deserved Oscar after great performances in Brokeback Mountain and My Week with Marilyn and All the Money in the World and Manchester by the Sea, and she just keeps being great. So it's time, maybe.
And Paul, we all know Spielberg's story. We know who his mother was from his biographies, and obviously they had the Spielberg HBO documentary a couple years ago. What a great character for somebody to get to embody. Like, I had the fun mom. I had the mom that all the kids in the neighborhood wanted to come over because everything was so fun at our house. And mom would let you get away with murder, would let you do, my mom was the one that was like cleaning out the fridge one day. And my cousin and I were like, hey, can we put on a Gallagher from the fridge, and brought it out with like baseball bats and lettuce. And we've got all these photos of us playing Gallagher but it's just in the yard. Like mom's just like, anyway, I had the fun, crazy, wacky mom. And so I just love that she's playing, Spielberg's mom is, this great character to embody. And obviously Spielberg is a great character to embody this kid. Like even we got a little bit of that in Super 8. And we're like, oh, it feels so good because we know that story. And some of us kind of live that story, making movies as kids and stuff. So, And boy, any movie that says go make a movie, I think Paul, you and I would agree are the best type of movies.
Hey, what am I doing? Not making a movie.
What am I doing with my life? Look
Asshole.
at that.
I know. I gotta change that. But
Paul, would you like a fun fact?
I insist.
All right. Here comes a fun fact. Paul, do you remember that super secret project about a year ago that I couldn't tell you that I was working on?
No, but go ahead.
No? Oh, okay. Well, I was pretty good at hiding that, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this was the movie. Moving on.
Oh, you were working on this film?
I was.
Oh.
My contribution got cut out. And I can only tell you off screen for reasons I will explain off screen. But anyway, just a little win. Okay. I may not have made a feature this year, but I got to be on a Zoom call with Steven Spielberg.
What?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, cool, right?
Maybe I do remember that. But then, since it wasn't a thing.
It's a long time ago.
I'll let it go. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. That was the thing. I couldn't discuss it. Unfortunately, my contribution didn't make it into the movie. But got to have a convo. It was fun.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah, I'll tell you more about it afterwards. This is all I can say. But yeah. But cool, I'm excited about the movie. Thank you. Yeah. I take my cools where I can get them.
Well, speaking of Spielberg, he has a lot to do with Universal Studios. So let me talk about my trip to Halloween Horror Nights. There's a transition for you.
There's a transition. Just stick it right.
I went up to Halloween Horror Nights, and
how is it? Should I go?
This year,
never been.
Good. This year it was good, just because I think I had really small crowds at the employee preview night. If you have large crowds there, it's never good, because they have less and less entertainment every year. There's less live entertainment than there used to be, and there's maybe the same or less number of mazes. So with that, the same number of people go there, and then you have fewer places to put them all, so the lines get crazy. You spend most of your time in line. Now, I also didn't do things that were repeating. Like the Halloween maze happened again. I'd seen it before, so I didn't go. The La Llorona maze was there again. I'd seen it before, so I didn't go. So I did most everything. They have the Jabberwockies there. I don't know why they're there. Someone told me they're there because they have a mask. They're a dance troupe. So it's pretty dumb.
So I hear. They're the new Moominshants.
They're good, but I don't know why they're there. So that's very strange. There is...
Is that the opening? Did they did an opening thing?
No, that's just a show.
Are they there all the time? Are they there right now? Did they make them just do it 24 hours a day? Some version of hell?
Just at night. Okay. Yeah, right. But they're the only live entertainment. They used to have like hypnotists. They used to have magicians. They used to have a Rocky Horror Show. They used to have like nighttime horror versions of their daytime shows, like the Animal Actors Stage. They did a show where a chicken was killing all the animals. He'd show up in in silhouette with like a knife, and then you'd see the dog would be dead, pretending to be dead and failing at it, and you get a big laugh. And they used to have like Slaughter World, the Waterworld show, where there was death in it, like real death, and so horror versions of all that. Now you just have the one show, and it's guys dancing. I please just bring a Halloween theme. That's all I ask. As good as you are.
They look frightening. If one of those guys was approaching you in an alley,
yeah,
weird.
Yeah, but they'd be approaching you like this. Yeah, so they're not mimes. They're dancers. But anyway, there was plenty of movie stuff on hand.
That was me popping and locking, Paul. That was me popping and locking.
You were behind an invisible wall. They had a Killer Clowns from Outer Space maze. That was pretty fun. You know what you're getting with Killer Clowns. So that was that. One of my favorites was actually the classic Universal Monsters. They called it Legends Collide. So you had Dracula, you had Wolfman, you have Frankenstein. These are Universal properties that they should always do great things with. So they used to have a Universal Monsters maze running, every day in the park. They don't anymore. They replaced it with a Starbucks. Again, I don't know some of the decisions.
A haunted Starbucks?
No. It's haunted by the Blues Brothers, because they used to be, our stage was there too, but not anymore. So what else was there?
Did they reconfigure once again the what was the Van Helsing? They're always reusing that set and trying to turn it. Yeah. Is Van Helsing been redecorated for Halloween?
Finally got rid of it. Yeah, now
now
it's Starbucks. That's how they repurposed it. Until they repurposed that as a coffee bean and tea leaf, I don't know. And this is how you're greeted upon entrance. A little area with like fire and clowns and guys on stilts, people with chainsaws. My favorite thing,
the side cell laughter hose. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong.
This is the Scarecrow maze. That was an original one, not based on a movie, but it was pretty cool. But my favorite thing was the Terror
Based
Train.
on Dark Knight of the Scarecrow with the guy that played Durant, right?
Based on Adults of the Corn, a forthcoming sequel. This is... My favorite thing was the Terror Tram. Now, they do take the tram, which is an everyday occurrence, and they do make that terrifying, like I said they should do with everything else there. And
the Terror Tram, now that would be the update of the movie with Jamie Lee Curtis, right? So that if you remade that today, it would have to be Terror Tram.
Exactly. Very nice. And the Terror Tram lets you off, and this is waiting for you. That was pretty creepy. Clown. And then, like, behind him out of that pumpkin, a whole bunch of dudes with chainsaws came and attacked you. And then you had to walk through the maze, which is on the lower lot. So you walk through Bates Motel, you walk by the Psycho House, and guess what was waiting for us at the Psycho House? Norman Bates.
Hey!
Who you might know.
Oh, that guy looks familiar.
Yeah.
That's a very familiar Norman Bates right there. That is Mike Kalinowski.
Killer.
Killer Kalinowski.
Yeah, who of course works also with Susan's my girlfriend Susan. There, they work together at the special effects show up at Universal as well, which is where the Jabberwockies are at night. So, but the best part, I think, you go past him, you walk through the War of the Worlds set, which again is pretty cool, the plane crash site that they have back there. But my favorite part was actually, and the tram does this during the day, but I haven't done it yet. So the first time I got to enjoy the Jupiter's Claim set from Nope was walking through it. And it's a full-size set. It is the set from the movie. So
can you imagine, like, now Jordan Peele's made it, right? He'd made it before. Yes, nobody expected, a sketch comedy, a Second City guy, to end up being this auteur filmmaker. But now that one of his movies has been turned into a Universal set, I mean, the guy's totally made it now.
Yeah, well, they've just brought the set there. So it's really just a walk through. Again, it rides through on the tram during the day. But at night, they've populated it with the characters from Us. So there were people in red jumpsuits, with the scissors coming up behind you, doing creepy stuff. And every once in a while, you heard like a spaceship going overhead, and all the characters stopped and looked up. And then you heard like clink, 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 like nickels and dimes and keys and stuff were being deposited down rained down upon your head.
Such a win. That's so cool.
And there's they had the full size. They had the full size balloon too that features prominently in the movie as well. So yeah, they had all the buildings there, including the dilapidated area where they used to do the horse show with the spaceship. So anyway,
that's just a whole other level.
Cool.
That's a whole other level.
Yeah, and then that's where Halloween Horror Nights wins. They often win for production. Now, granted, that's just given to them because it's a Universal movie, and Peele and the team said, "Here, let people enjoy it." But most of the time,
but still, that's Spielberg level. For Jordan Peele.
Yeah, but most of the time, Halloween Horror Nights wins for production design. When they had the Thing maze, really looked like when they had the Shining maze, right down to the Labyrinth. They had a lot of design to make it feel like you're there. Now, Knott's is cool. I'll be going to Knott's next month. I do enjoy the Knott's Scary Farm, but it's all kind of original stuff. It'll be this unique story, that unique story. But to be in the movies is cool. So that's the part that's always the best when it can be movie related. And one of the other thing that separates Halloween Horror Nights a lot is the use of victims. Like they had one of my favorite mazes. I didn't get any pictures of this. Was a Blumhouse maze, and they focused on two Blumhouse movies, two that I loved, Freaky and The Black Phone.
They had a maze for the movie Freaky at the Universal Studio Monster Night deal.
Yeah, for Universal Studios Monster Night, they had it was just called the Blumhouse maze, and Freaky is the first half of it, and Black Phone is the second. And again, they go through the pains to recreate moments from Black Phone, like when the kid gets out of the cellar. And Ethan Hawke's character is just sitting there, but he's asleep, and the kid's got to creep past him. So you kind of have to do that too without waking him up. Of course, he wakes up, chases you out of the room, and you have some fun. But the Freaky stuff was really cool. And so, yeah, anytime there's a victim, like you could be going around a corner and someone's getting their face carved off and they're screaming, and you just want to get out of the room, They come at you, it's one thing. But if you see someone really getting done in by a madman, that's uncomfortable too. And you just want to get out of that room. So.
It's pretty cool how they always put fairly new and modern stuff there. I assume Jason and Leatherface are still chasing you around as well. No, I guess not. They're not Universal. Are they there?
They used to be. They've had, Friday the 13th mazes. They've had one year it was like the big three. It was Leatherface, Freddy, and Jason. They all had mazes represented.
I guess they have to pay money to use those characters.
Yeah, none of them are.
So they're like, come on, guys, come up with some more Universal stuff. Come on, iconic stuff. We need the maze.
There's a maze this year. They just wanted a name, I guess. So they pulled in a maze from The Weeknd, like the singer. I can't feel my face when I'm with you.
Weekend? No,
Weeknd. So he's, I guess, got a album that maybe is kind of creepy or something.
I Can't Feel My Face. Now that would be after Leatherface cuts it off, I believe. So that might be from the latest Chainsaw Massacre. The movie was only 78 minutes. I didn't stay through the credits though, so that could be the song. I don't know.
I just didn't see the tie-in, so I skipped that one.
Yeah.
he's got a whole nightclub too there where I guess people will hang out and drink. So that's probably a win for the.
Having never done
Universal Monster Night,
Universal Monster Nights, does it take over the main park, or is it like if you go at night, you are necessarily at a Halloween Horror Night, right? Did they change everything over?
They change everything over.
Okay.
They close the regular park at 6, which is also a bummer because Universal Studios Hollywood looks great at night, but you only get like a couple months of that now when they have hours past 6, to 8 or 10. So then at 7, Universal Halloween Horror Nights will open and go through probably like 1 in the morning, something like that. Yeah. I actually got out before midnight this last time, which was a shock. I was like, I think I did everything. Because again, there's not a ton, which can be a bummer if it's super packed. If you go on a Saturday, I think anytime from here on out, it's just you're going to be in line a lot. But it's everything from the front of the park. Like if you go to the Universal Studios Hollywood now during the day, you're going to see a lot of the Halloween Horror Night stuff just lying around. Like it's Halloween decoration, so that's okay. But it's also kind of counter to a lot of the things. Like my girlfriend.
I mean, they obviously are banking on the Halloween thing to bring a lot of people that don't go all the time. So they're like, yeah, it's okay to upset the balance because, maybe don't go all year. Go, I better go check out the.
Yeah, but that's where they make their money. I mean, Knott's makes their money for the year. Not Scared Front, pretty much.
Yeah.
And now Universal Studios may be doing the same thing. But yeah, like the New York Street, which is one of the first streets you come across when you go past Waterworld. There's a big taxi cab there, and there's a big street area with a couple of windows. And they put some characters up there, and they yell at you, "Hey, how you doing today?" Da, da. Well, now they've got like skeletons and clowns and stuff scattered throughout their area during the day. So it's an interesting time to visit the park. Not one I would really recommend, but Halloween Horror Nights, I had a good time this year. When normally I just sit there and go, "Where's all the entertainment?"
I've never been.
Still, there's Jabberwockies for what that's worth. All right.
Hey, let's go to McDonald's.
It's a perfect transition. We're done with that. Let's go to McDonald's. What's next?
All right. Well, this is next because we got there's a lot to talk about with what went down at D23 Expo, the ultimate Disney fan event. Let me share the news first, and then I will get to what I did there specifically. I've got some pictures to upload and have some fun with myself. So let's see. All right.
He's frozen any wage increases. He's put a stop on all overtime, and any purchases of £100 or more now go through him.
100? I was going to make it 90, but 100's all right.
That's my impression of every reactor to the D23. The most amazing stuff you've ever heard of in the entire life. Yeah, I would have done it better. Oh, would you have? Would you have done it better? Fucking internet.
Did you not? Yes.
Yeah. Well, as someone who hates Star Wars, I wasn't impressed with the Star Wars. Well, thanks for leading with that. Okay, go ahead.
By the way, Howard Stern returned from his summer break, and I don't know if you remember at the end of the summer, he was caught on mic talking about playing Dr. Doom.
No.
And
he's always wanted to be in a superhero movie. I remember they'll still run the rumor that he was Scarecrow for Joel Schumacher's Batman 4.
And so he just played a montage of the internet, breaking in the news that he might play Dr. Doom.
Oh, God.
Which is hilarious.
Because there's all these YouTube pages that are like Marvel announcements, and they're not announcements.
Yeah.
Confirmed who plays Dr. Doom. Completely wrong. Doesn't matter. Just trying to get the hits for the day,
Exactly. So let's talk about what actually happened at D23 Expo. D23, as you may know, is the official fan club of the Walt Disney Company. If you want to know everything that's going on at Walt Disney Company, follow the D23 Inside Disney podcast, where yours truly is the editor. We're about 156 episodes in, and our talent is no joke now that we get on the show. The show used to start out with like, hey, we got the guy who runs retail at the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Our latest was Larry the Cable Guy. We just recently had, Angelina Jolie, and we had Chris Evans, and right on down. So with a lot of these announcements, we're going to probably continue to get great guests to show up on that show. So D23,
is this an exciting time for the D23 podcast? Like, do you like all this stuff?
Oh yeah,
is it get broken simultaneous with this, or did you know any of this ahead of time?
No, they save it all for the live event for the fans.
They do, okay.
We're going to report on it now afterwards,
right,
like everybody else, like we're doing here. But D23 pretty much puts that thing on, and it's a massive endeavor because now this has become like as big as Comic-Con because Disney has so many properties now.
Yeah.
And forget it. I will share my personal experience on it in a second, but let's just talk about the news that came out of it. First of all, and Adam, click any videos that you may have.
Yeah, I got a bunch of videos I pulled because, man, this was some great. Can you go ahead and announce it?
As I mentioned, one display it. So first of all, Andor is coming September 21st. We talked about it. It is the prequel to Star Wars. It is pre-Rogue One Adventures of Cassian Andor. Turns out there's going to be 24 episodes of this show. So if you like your Star Wars, there you go. And they've released a final trailer. Do you have a clip of that?
Yes, I do. And then this might be for you.
Time has come to force her hand.
At what cost?
Everything! Every day we wait, they get stronger.
Let's take them by surprise.
For the greater good. Call it what you will. Let's call it war.
People are standing up. They're afraid. Right now, they're afraid. Let's go!
Badass!
Yeah, totally.
You like your Star Wars with some stars and wars? There you go. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is some... Star Wars is for so long has been kind of doing the alt thing, trying to do something different. Yes, exactly. Oh man, I was hoping for more. Yeah, where's my I gotta keep my David Brent clip very close here.
He's frozen any wage increases, he's put a stop on all overtime, and any purchases of £100 or more now go through him.
100? I was going to make it 90, but 100's all right.
But hey, and this is our favorite period. Like anybody that complained about the prequel era, anybody that complained about any sort of offshoots, all this sort of stuff, this is like straight up fastball, like the part of Star Wars shot of episode 4. Well, this is everything before that in Rogue One. There's a certain boy contingent out there that's like, I want my Star Wars to be badass, and so they're like, all right, here's some Cassian Andor for you badass Star Wars fans, No, there's even this lovey-dovey crap the Mandalorian's doing with a boy and his baby crap, Ain't no babies in this, and if they are, they're gonna get fried,
Yeah, this coming into Star Wars, I'll watch a movie about the start of the rebellion. A series. In fact, but let me say that there's the one thing I'm disappointed about is that I would love another Star Wars movie. I mean, they got nothing but series in production, and that's a shame. And Marvel's mixed it up, and I appreciate that. I just want a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and just to finish that thought, I will say, Lord of the Rings of Power seems a little small on my small screen, considering how epic the films were. It's like, oh, wow, this is just not matching the grandeur that Jackson brought to the production previously, I think.
Yeah, well, but the other thing, what the other thing you like about Star Wars, Paul, is waiting a while for one, and this is kind of giving them time to go, big screen Star Wars is going to take a break, because traditionally it would take 13-year breaks, and I think they looked at Solo coming out 6 months. Everybody was like, whoa, so much Star Wars, and people feel bad if they like the last one, so they shit on the next one, that's just like fanboy sort of stuff. So these is giving them a break. And, when you think about Andor, I would love to see it on the big screen, but technically it's a smaller story. It's one guy's, I don't know. I guess maybe that isn't all in the tradition of Star Wars. You could put this on the big screen.
They're gonna do what they need to do to tell this story, and that's fine. would just like to see a movie also. There's just no movies. There's just no movies in Star Wars, and that's
right. Yeah, I know. But again, they're making us wait for one, which feels right. You know what I'm saying? Waiting. Oh, I can't wait for another Star Wars movie. When? You know, here I am in 1986, 87, 88, 89. When? Oh, I guess they're never going to make one again. 99. Oh my God, there's one. There's another. Yeah. But so you know, at least this by being small screen Star Wars, this has alleviated that and given us these great little hits. Like Kenobi was not a widescreen big enough story. I think that had a nice place. I would love to watch it all in a row to get like the feel of watching a movie. But with all the great thing about Star Wars is so much, basically all of Star Wars can boil down to you fought in the Clone Wars. And then they move on to talk about a whole bunch of other stuff that they're also not going to give you the backstory on. It's a Clone War. The Imperial Senate is no longer of any use to us. Wait, there was an Imperial Senate? But they're moved on to the next thing in the movie. That's what all of Episode 4 is. If Episode 4 debuted today, 90% of the people will go, I haven't read all these comic books. I haven't seen. I don't know any of this backstory. They mentioned Clone Wars. It's confusing. You gotta watch 100 of these things to keep up. Meanwhile, Episode 4 does all that, you know, referencing all this past history, backstory. So now they have all of that backstory that's been referenced, and all these characters that make like one tiny little appearance. Now they get whole scenes, and all can be infinite, and TV gives it a good space to go, let's tell this little thing. There was Salacious Crumbs in the trailer. I don't know if I put it in my clip there. Did you see that?
I saw that, yeah.
Right. Have you ever seen a Salacious Crumb in any other movie? Yeah, one. And that's it. Salacious Crumbs. We're not even going to talk about them. We're not even going to talk about it as a creature. We're not even going to... No Salacious Crumb's adventure. Finally, all these years later, we get a Salacious Crumb in a TV show. Yeah.
Well, now, my math is... hard. 34 years later, Willow returns. November. Yeah, it was quite a wait, but now Willow is back. Christian Slater seems to be the latest casting added to that film, or added to that series.
Christian Slater, you are great.
That's another series coming to Disney Plus, and they released a trailer for that. Do we have a clip of that?
No.
Oh, okay. You can go find it. You can go look it up.
It wasn't in the text you sent.
There's a lot of stuff. I think it was because that was like the second biggest thing.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't matter because
I didn't get to it.
There's a lot of stuff that they showed a lot of stuff in room only, which was pretty impressive that they said, like including we'll get to the Indiana Jones 5 appearance. But that clip was shown in house and not anywhere else. It hasn't even leaked to the internet. So there's amazing footage that they showed of Indiana Jones 5.
Were you there?
No, I didn't. I couldn't do Saturday. I could only do Friday. I think. But Friday was great. I mean, but looking at the amount of stuff, because it was Lucasfilm followed by Marvel. I mean, followed by 20th Century Studios. But so
I have two clips of Harrison Ford.
The Willard trailer is out there. Let's jump to Indiana Jones then. So June 30th, 2023 is when that is coming out. Harrison Ford, legend. Phoebe Waller-Bridge and James Mangold all came out on stage to share footage.
Did you say legend?
You okay, miss?
I'm fine, thanks. My horse. Thanks a lot.
Honda, legend. Honda Coolio.
And a Honda Coolio to you, Paul.
And a Honda Coolio to you, Adam. Why don't they give him a line at that final thing? It just looks at the screen and goes... It's very bizarre.
It is, right? I love that look. I think I need to just pull that as a drop. Just that turn to camera.
Well, whatever clips you got for Indiana Jones 5, let's see them.
Here we go. Here's the emotional moment.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, actually, that was not the clip I meant to play. I just want to say, I have been saying that for years, which is when someone doesn't say thank you, I will say back, thank you, as though they did. And I will also say, love love me. That has been my bit for 25 years. And I just want to say, Harrison Ford got on stage and did my bit, basically. No, thank you. Ask anybody. I've been doing that
just for the big applause. There you go.
I did. It looks like I'll show you this one. Is this included? Well, here's the clip.
So I'm delighted to be here again. And maybe for the... No, not maybe. This is it. I will not fall down for you again.
Okay, that was supposed to be the next clip. I have to upload the other one, which has him kind of breaking down emotionally, because somehow it did not get uploaded.
I can tell you what it said. It was he said,
"Thank you."
He said, Indiana Jones movies are about fantasy and mystery, but they're also about heart. I'm really, really happy that we have a really human story to tell, as well as a movie that will kick your ass.
Oh, here it is. Okay, hold on. Now, and you've got a lot of files. Hold on, let me delete a few files.
Sorry, there's a bunch of files.
There's a ton of files. Let's see. We're done with Fabelmans? Yeah.
Here, let me show this one. I forgot to mention when I showed the clip of Mikhail Gorbachev in The Naked Gun that
sure.
the internet comments beneath that clip from Naked Gun are what you'd expect them to be. R.I.P. Gorbachev, you did great acting.
You did a great acting job.
You may have also been like a world leader or something, but the scene was your true mark on the world.
Wow.
First thing I thought of when I heard you died.
Oh, that's so funny.
Anyway, well, I can do
all right, here's the proper Harrison Ford.
Yes, please.
From the heart. Processing. Well, it's processing.
I'm very proud to say that this one is fantastic. And this is one of the reasons. Indiana Jones movies are about mystery and adventure, but they're also about heart. And really, really happy that we have a really human story to tell, as well as a movie that will kick your ass.
No Harrison Ford, thank you.
Sold.
Yeah. so sold.
Already sold on that. I mean,
oh my God.
I can't.
What a time to be alive. Let me just say this before we continue with other amazing announcements. We've got an Indiana Jones movie. We've got a Star Wars TV show, 24 episodes. Basically, they're like, what is that, a 6-hour Star Wars movie?
Yeah.
It's just like, okay. And there's more.
There is. Well, let me show you my little jaunt through the show floor for D23 Expo.
All right.
Because Lucasfilm had its own booth, or booth. It was huge. It was a display, whatever. They had costumes from the new movie. So there's Indy's costume, and I think that's going to be Mads Mikkelsen. Oh, it's full on tote, right?
Full on tote.
Full
on tote.
I guess you pronounce it. And then behind him, you can see you can see what Phoebe Waller-Bridge's costume most likely looked like, and there is a close-up of the drawings on the wall. Because Mikkelsen plays a Nazi, which is
oh my God, he's such a Tote.
Right on. Yeah, it's right on. So
he's the son of Tote.
Got to be him.
It's got to be son of Tote.
And for not having seen the footage, which makes me sad, I did at least get some close-up look at storyboards they had on display at the Lucasfilm thing. So there's Ford and Waller-Bridge driving a little moped type thing while guys are chasing him. And so for all the talk of them shooting in New York, they do go overseas clearly in this shot as well. They're somewhere in Morocco or who knows where.
L'Atlantique. Yeah, like you got to have some world hopping, globe hopping.
And you got to hit caves, and they do. So there's a cool shot of what we know.
That's awesome. We're so easily pleased. Like, just give it to me. Yeah. Wow. I mean, yeah, you can't have an Indiana Jones movie without that shot right there.
Yep. So all that stuff was on display in the Lucasfilm booth. Again, much bigger than a booth. But
to you.
My bit.
Let's go back to, you talked to Spielberg?
I did. I was on a Zoom call with the man.
Cool.
Yeah, I know.
It's awesome.
It's a lot of fun. I got to count my wins.
And you can't tell us what they wanted you to do. After the movie comes out, we will recount all this. Or even maybe not then.
Maybe not then. It's been cut out. I've received word very quickly, and the reason I can't say anything is because the idea indicates a different style, I believe, than what we see in the trailer.
And there was much rejoicing.
I think it was a stylistic choice that was so desperate that they could involve me. But I'll tell you after. I mean, anybody can ask me. Am I just not going to put it on the internet?
Yeah, I get that. All right, so here's what else came up. More stuff you'll appreciate, Adam. Star Wars: The Bad Batch, January 4th of next year. You've got 16 new episodes of that.
And that's a good show. And that show just did the classic Star Wars thing of like, oh, where else could this go? Like the insinuations of like, so by season 3 is Omega like an adult? In what season do they do these? Skip the 6 years, and then like then you've got her as an adult Jedi or whatever. It's like it's a lot of great stuff in that show, and all the cloning stuff. There really is. That's like the cloning show. It's like here's some clones. Again, you fought cloning. The Clone Wars. Yeah.
Oh, here's some looks from the stage. Here you go, from the D23 website. So there's
Bad
Batch season 2 logo was, and Dave Filoni talked. That's about all that was. There's no clips or anything from that. And Tales of the Jedi has a trailer though. That's the other thing. You have a little clip of that. Okay,
I do have a little clip.
I didn't pull a photo because I thought you might pull it.
Boy, this is good stuff. Like what a great.
This comes out sooner, October 26th. 6 shorts based on Jedi, and the trailer was released. Show us the clip.
Here it is.
It is the only way you will truly have victory, my Padawan.
Again. Again.
Dooku, stand down.
I'm tired of fighting.
I've been warning them about the coming darkness.
Let's hope all that training pays off.
And who might you be?
That looks pretty cool.
All the yaddle you can handle.
I don't even know what that means, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a different Yoda,
Well, speaking of Yodas, Mandalorian season 3 trailer. Season 3 will be out next year. Got a clip of that?
Yeah, and before I do, I just gotta say, get the fuck out of here. Like, like what? There's a Boba Fett TV show in my lifetime.
Get the fuck out of here! Somebody else.
It's gone 3 seasons. There's a Yoda in it, and now this is happening. And for anybody that just not like that could see all this and then go, I offer this.
Your cult.
Already sold? Are you sold?
Your cult. Fractured our people. Where were you then? Did you think your dad was the only Mandalorian?
All right, kid. Hang on. You ready for an adventure?
Cool. You're muted.
That was the one with the salacious crumbs in it. Sorry, I thought maybe I just.
Oh, you're right. Yes,
that's the salacious crumbs, and the
salacious crumbs.
Yeah,
salacious.
The salacious crumbs and the what's the other little dude that works on things? I can't think of his name right now.
Babu Frick.
Babu
hey, I
Frick.
know this.
Yes. Babu Frick is ripped. I didn't catch that either. Yeah, Babu Frick. That's this is why I don't win Star Wars trivia. Dooku's.
So that's coming next year. So.
Yeah. So I mean, but did you see all the miracles going on in that trailer? Like what? Like this? Like in the very promise of like Mandalorians, which have been in a couple episodes of the Mandalorian War. There's so many Boba Fett's. It's incredible.
Yeah, I do like that shot of them descending from the spaceship on top. They're going to do on the planet below. That's pretty cool.
He's frozen any wage increases.
They've made a Mandalorian 3.
Any purchases of £100
season 3, and it's got Babu Frick in it.
100. I was going to make it 90, but 100's all right.
I was going to have Chewbacca in it, but yeah, I guess it's all right.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I demand 12 more of these corporate conventions, by the way. This is like a corporate announcements, basically, to the board of directors. Like, all right, instead of board of directors, let's bring people in, and we'll call it D23
well,
to announce things.
They did that for stuff they've already talked about, but didn't have much new footage for Ahsoka, so they brought Jon Favreau out, and he talked about
Look at that.
Yeah. And they talked about
Well,
Star
here's why
Wars.
you can't get...
Yeah.
Here's why you can't get disappointed in that, is because... Like, am I the only one that's still, like... not just totally spoiled by like, oh, it's Ahsoka. We've seen Ahsoka. I'm like, oh my god, look, it's Ahsoka. Am I the only one that's doing that?
No.
Yeah.
You're not. I mean, here, yes. I never watched the animated stuff, so I'm just sort of introduced to her through Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But,
well, that's a great
I'm sure there's
introduction.
plenty of stories to tell. So, but then Skeleton Crew also is coming out. That's the
what's
one about
that?
that's about the kids, I think, who get swept up in a Star Wars adventure.
Oh.
Jude Law is going to be in it. This is
Ooh.
John Watson, the other guy who did the pitch to Dave Filoni, and said,
Oh, get the
how's
hell
this?
out of here.
And then Filoni said yes to them, so then they went
Oh
nuts
my god.
and started making this.
Wow. That is cool. Well, that's the other thing that Star Wars TV allows is a small story like that. That wouldn't get greenlit as a movie. You know? But it's like, oh, what would that be like? Yeah.
So let's see. That is...
Man.
All right, that's Star Wars. Marvel opened their presentation with "I could do this all day" live.
Oh my god! Yes, yes,
if nothing
yes.
else, I would want to have seen that. Mark Shaman was there with a 6-piece band, and they played live. I mean, I just would have gone nuts.
Wow.
VHS.
Absolutely, big time. But then
Oh
they
my
went
God,
right
that's
into,
amazing.
Right, they went right into what's coming up next, and that would be November 11th, Wakanda Forever. So members of the cast came out. I guess they revealed new scenes, but again, in-house. They're not online yet, but new scenes.
It's a classic tradition. Do it in-house only.
Namor's got the mic there, which is...
oh, is that Namor?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love me some Namor.
Yeah.
Namor of Atlantis is the prince of the sea.
Namor of Atlantis is the prince of the deep. Do we pull that out?
Deeper sea? Yeah, that's gone. Oh, that we had to make room for so much other stuff.
Oh, come on, guys. It's so simple. Maybe you need a refresher course. Hey, it's all ball bearings nowadays.
Sorry, we were going to talk about the Fletch trailer at some point, but I forgot nothing but Fletch drops.
Yeah, this one looks funnier. The chase one looks funnier.
Yeah.
So, in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, they're going to introduce Ironheart, who then will get her own show.
Okay.
And Ryan Coogler will executive produce that as well.
Oh, really?
So he showed up to talk about it. Tell me the villain in this, because you don't know who it is. It's going to be the Hood.
Well, I don't know the Hood. They're getting to hear. They're getting the stuff I don't know, Paul.
All right.
It's crazy. I mean, Ironheart, I only know by reference. I don't think I've ever read an. Like the Ms. Marvel, and I know they switch up some of the origin stories of the characters, but that's like the first Ms. Marvel story I ever saw was on Disney Plus.
Have you caught up on that, by the way, and watched Ms. Marvel and She-Hulk and all that?
I'm caught up on She-Hulk, but Ms. Marvel, I'm still stalled halfway through.
Oh, okay.
Because like She-Hulk started, and but I love it. I love them both.
Then They had a brief appearance by stars of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. This is where we're going to get more Kang, who showed up. There he is, who showed up in Loki, and will obviously be one of the major cruxes for the next entire phase as we enter the multiverse saga of Marvel Studios. So that comes out February 17th. So November 11th, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Movies and series. You get both at Marvel, which makes me excited.
Okay, then, so when is Ant-Man? When is
February? Oh, wow. Ant-Man is February 17th.
Wow.
Yes.
And when's Batgirl?
Sorry,
that's not good. Sorry, that was mean. They did release a trailer of Batgirl.
Did they really?
Well, there was a fake one that went online. It was a really good one. But what's always funny about the fake trailers, and I almost bit on the Indiana Jones 5 as well because I went and pulled that clip.
And the first shots from Call of the Wild, right?
Right. You know, that classic thing that a lot of trailers do where they use 60% footage from other movies. Like, here's the new Iron Man trailer, and you're like, why would they start with 12 shots of the previous Iron Man movies?
Yes, Randy, no Star Wars movie announced, as I mentioned.
No.
Marvel's the only one giving us everything, because that's their MO. So after that, Adam, tell me about Werewolf by Night. This was a surprise to everybody. No one expected this announcement. It's a Michael Giacchino directed, first time ever
this is
Marvel
insane.
Special. So it's a
How did they keep this
special.
secret? How do they keep this secret?
And it's coming out October 7th. So you have to wait more than like 3 weeks, and it'll be out. They released a trailer. I'm sure you have a clip. I have to say, they even started with, I don't know if this is in your trailer, the opening sort of special presentation stuff. They always CBS.
I know. I thought. Dude, how brilliant is that? Yeah, I accidentally didn't have it uploaded here, but
no worries. Go find it online. But we'll play you a little clip now.
Oh, I mean, but we used to open this show with this joke too. So it's like the trailer had me at this.
Well, there it is.
Yeah. But, I mean, how brilliant is that? And it starts with that, then it goes into a full-on Robert Rodriguez, style. You're like, wait a second. First of all, they kept this whole thing secret. They're announcing that there's going to be a Werewolf by Night, which was a horror comic back in the day. I don't know how into regular continuity he went. Part of Marvel had its own continuity with, like, Blade would meet Werewolf by Night, would meet The Living Mummy, would meet... There was a Frankenstein in there at some point too. They had a whole horror series, and Tomb of Dracula was a comic. But the fact that this is just being announced and is going to be available in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month and a half.
October 7th. Less than
with this complete.
You wanna see this, darling?
Please don't do this.
Death is coming for you!
Werewolf by Night.
Come on. And then Disney. The film melts in Disney, right? But talk about what a great brag point for the breadth of Marvel possibilities there are to go this far afield from whatever, Quantumania or, whatever. But this was a Marvel comic too. It's so cool. Michael Giacchino do this. Obviously, he does the music, right? I mean, I would hope, because I want to hear his take on all his horror stuff. How cool is Marvel? How cool is this? Total surprise. And what's better than that, Paul?
Power Records presents Man-Thing in... Power Records presents Man-Thing in Night of the Laughing Dead.
No longer able to reason, you now function on emotion, those few which you still feel. You can feel what others feel. Consider this weeping clown, for example. What does he feel now? as he raises a gun to his temple, as the tears roll down his grease-painted cheeks. You may never know, for across the marshland comes a single devastatingly final shot.
Jesus.
That would be, if you were a child born before VCRs and you wanted to enjoy superhero entertainment, what you had was these little records of superhero adventures, and some of them had comic books. When you hear the bell ding like this, and there were Captain America ones, there were Fantastic Four ones, there were Spider-Man ones. I had all those, and advertised on the back was this curiosity called the Man Thing. And you look in the back and you're like, oh, the other adventures I could get were Captain America and the Falcon and Fantastic Four and Man Thing, And I never had it as a kid, and I looked it up as an adult, and it turns out a clown shoots himself in the opening pages of it. So for mature audiences only.
Is Man Thing going to be a thing or something now, or?
I don't know. He's obviously, well, he was in a lot of the horror comics as well. So, I think he's making an appearance in this. I didn't even catch it in the trailer till people started posting. I was like, what? Man Thing?
Oh, you think he's in Werewolf by Night?
He is. There's the quick clip. That's what this was.
Power Records presents Man Thing in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That guy with the axe, like later there's a quick cut in that sort of bump, 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 bump part. And it's like, it's Man Thing destroying that guy with the axe. I don't know how that comes into it. In the comic book, Man Thing sort of is a world between, not a world between worlds. It's sort of controls a portal between different dimensions, and I can't remember what it was called, but it could open up Quantumania type doors. Just the idea that Man Thing is about. Yeah.
Cool.
All of the so did you, Smythe? Did you have Man Thing? Because that would have been pretty brutal as a kid. I don't know if that was Stan Lee, but yeah. Man Thing's Grandmaster. Oh, I see. Okay, but anyway, it's a very obscure superhero, very obscure comic. I have a bunch of Man Thing comic books. I'm a fan. I own the DVD. So, and I didn't even catch it. I was too wrapped up with Werewolf by Night existing as a premise with this Robert Rodriguez, well, I call it that, but a classic vintage treatment in black and white, the very first black and white Marvel show or Marvel movie. And then I went online and read that Man Thing has made an appearance in the Marvel Universe. Namor and Man Thing are going to make appearances in Marvel products, TV shows, and movies in this year. That's insane. That's insane.
And if you think, did I write down what? Oh yeah, I do. Okay. I'll mention this again later. All right, let's get into the next thing because time's ticking.
Yeah.
Secret Invasion is happening, 2023. I think it's going to be spring, but they gave a date for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, but not one for Secret Invasion.
Okay.
And we see that Olivia Colman is in the cast to class things up. That's fun.
Come on.
Plus
Come on.
Ben Mendelsohn and Sam Jackson and Colby Smulders and on and on. Play the clip.
Do we have to put TV in quotes for something like this?
Fury, we gotta be very careful now.
You're in no shape for this fight that lies before us.
And I'm the last person standing between them and what they really want. And what is that?
What I love here is that the vibe is otherworldly, yet has a Civil War Winter Soldier vibe about it. That is for lack of a better term, sort of CIA and that kind of stuff, but about something otherworldly as opposed to just being some fantastical adventure.
That's true. And it's a S.H.I.E.L.D. movie. This is finally our Nick Fury TV show in a way. It's a Skrull TV show. What a cool thing to do, the sort of S.H.I.E.L.D. adventures with a alien presence, and then also the idea that Thanks, Hollywood. I'll take it from here. By the way, I have to say, I always say I moved to the city from 7 because, like, you remember the beginning of 7, Morgan Freeman, turns on the whatever the tick, whatever that thing's called, the metronome to drown out the city, and you can hear this whole city and all this stuff, all the David Fincher stuff. It rained yesterday or 2 days. Hearing that with rain, I was like, now I'm living in the city from 7. Secret Invasion. There's a Skrull TV show, Paul, in our lifetime. Also, Man-Thing is a thing. Also, Werewolf by Night.
Also, this is a thing, and you can tell me what it is. Don Cheadle showed up to talk about Armor Wars.
One of my favorite stories in Marvel history right there. That is one of my favorites. That is when I hardcore read Iron Man. Armor Wars is, all those suits of armor that Tony used in Iron Man 3 to, was it 3? Yeah. Imagine that, but those get stolen and spread across. Now all these villains have intercepted all these suits and are committing crimes, and only at that time Iron Man, but in this one War Machine, can go stop them and collect all the suits of armor. It's a great story. It was my favorite Iron Man story. I read the hell out of Iron Man as a kid, and that was my favorite story. So exciting.
We'll get Loki season 2. That's no surprise. It was one of the few previous Disney Plus Marvel shows that announced its season 2 at the end of season 1. So he's back. But what was cool in the announcement, I don't have a photo of it though, is that Ki-Hai Kwan will be joining the cast. Short Round is coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So
that's why he was there.
Yes, he was there for a couple of reasons. He's in a show called American Born Chinese with Michelle Yeoh, reuniting with her. That'll be a Disney Plus show about a high school kid who unwittingly gets involved in a battle of Chinese mythological gods. They revealed a featurette for that, which you can go check out online if you want to. And so he was there for that and for the Loki announcement as well. So there's a quanaissance, and I'll take it because man, was he good in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
That's
fun.
So cool. It's so special.
And
here's how good Marvel is. They did that bit. That's a bit.
Yeah, right? I loved it. I appreciated it as an old guy.
Big time.
Fantastic Four, no real thing went on at the show except the announcement that Matt Shakman is in fact confirmed to direct. He directed pretty much all of WandaVision, so it was a good choice to pick that up, I think. There was sneak peek footage of Echo shown. As you can see in the far left, Kingpin returns for the Echo spinoff. And what was best is D'Onofrio.
I love that Hawkeye show.
D'Onofrio hung out on stage to be joined by Charlie Cox. So Daredevil Born Again is coming with 18 episodes. Wow. That's not until 2024, unfortunately.
What, they didn't bring footage? They didn't bring footage of something they didn't shoot, Paul? Why didn't they bring footage? Why didn't they reveal the Fantastic Four? Where's Henry Cavill?
He's frozen any wage increases. He's put a stop on all overtime.
We're doing Werewolf by Night, and we're doing Daredevil, and all the stuff you've ever wanted as a kid.
I was going to make it 90, but 100's all right.
I was going to do it with Gary Oldman, but all right.
Yeah, I don't know. Could be better. Could have been. I would have done better, except I've never made a TV show or a movie.
Yeah. I walked by Feige at one point. He was going from something to somewhere else. He clearly had someone with him who was like getting him to his next thing. It's hard not to just throw a hug on that guy when he's like,
right. I love you so much.
You did it. And then we get another movie as Captain America New World Order comes out. And get this. This is what I love. What's my Marvel motto?
Are you not entertained? What's your motto?
Leave no movie behind.
Uh-huh.
So who's returning?
Who's returning? We'd forgotten about it because critic is to be believed, there are bad Marvel movies that they're embarrassed about and would rather we didn't think about, correct?
Nope. Tim Blake Nelson is returning from The Incredible Hulk.
Oh.
Because they did a thing with him at the end of the movie where he was having like blood or something dripped on him, and he's going to return as a character called the Leader.
The Leader.
You know the Leader?
Oh, big time.
Okay.
Oh, big time. That was my Luthor as far as my comic book reading youth is concerned. That's the Hulk's Lex Luthor. He's like the big bad.
I got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you saw Blonsky come back in She-Hulk, so that's pretty cool. I mean, they just, first of all, this time
comic accurate.
They liked William Hurt, so they brought him back. Nope, that movie is canon. And one of the funniest lines in all of Marvel history in She-Hulk is when She-Hulk calls Banner and asks him, is it okay if I go on the defense team for Blonsky? He goes, look, it was a long time ago. He wrote me a nice haiku. I mean, I was a different person back then. Literally.
That is a pretty good one.
That's a great line.
For the show that breaks the fourth wall, you can get away with a line like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But why isn't it more badass? Well, just wait for Werewolf by Night. Be unimpressed at that.
And how fun is this?
Ready for Secret Invasion.
Took 2 movies for DC to get Suicide Squad right, but I think they'll get the Thunderbolts done right out of the gate. This is 2024. You have to wait. Sorry. But Tim Blake...
They just showed a picture? Why did they show footage of something they haven't shot yet?
Not Tim Blake, no, sorry. Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine will be there. See her on the far left. That's your return of...
where's she from?
What's her name? Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Oh, that's Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
From Black Widow and whatever show she was just in. Who was she just in?
Yeah, they've teased her a couple times. Was she in Hawkeye?
Falcon and Winter Soldier? Hawkeye?
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
That's what it was,
Red Guardian, of course, from
Yeah.
Black Widow, who's great.
Oh my God.
Horrible.
I love Black Widow. I love Black Widow. That's one of the
right
best
up front,
Marvel movies
there's
ever made.
Yelena Belova, so she's part of the Thunderbirds. So it's the bad guys doing good. Taskmaster returns because he didn't get enough Taskmaster.
It's a movie, right? TV show?
This is a movie, yeah.
Yeah.
They gave it a date, so it feels like it's
Taskmaster, my favorite villain.
Yeah. And John Walker from Captain America as well.
Love it.
And Winter Soldier, Bucky. So they're all going to be, no doubt, having to do good, even though they're bad. Yeah. So,
well, that's a comic book I'm a huge fan of, particularly in the comic book. There's a character with a great design called Citizen V, and basically Citizen V was like a 1950s character or something, but Kurt Busiek brought him back, and and when they all come out as new superheroes, and then they realize behind the scenes that they're all supervillains. The villain that Citizen V was Nemo, so I was hoping to see Nemo, but I bet he's going to be in it anyway.
Yeah, probably. It's a shame we won't get Thunderbolt Ross. Rest in peace, William Hurt. But
he was never a part of it, though. That's just a.
Oh, is that just a name?
Yeah. They were just called the Thunderbolts.
Oh, I thought he put them together too. All right. Then of course we talked about briefly the Marvels you mentioned.
I love the Marvels.
Would never be a thing. So you got Monica, you got Ms. Marvel, you got Danvers. They're all there, and that comes out next year. So next year's confirmed films are Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and the Marvels.
Marvels is a film.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
There's going to be something else in there too, I'm sure. But anyway.
I mean, as good as because as big as Marvel makes their TV shows, it does have me often, and I think it's a credit to Marvel. It does have me often asking, is that a TV show? No, that's going to be a movie. Is that going to be a TV show? No, that's going to be a movie, which is really cool. Like to make Thunderbolts a movie, because I could see that being a TV show. But the scale at which it's too big for Marvel to make it a TV show is interesting because they make such big stuff.
Yeah.
Like Secret Invasion, okay, I guess I could see that as a TV show. Whereas Andor, I could see that as a movie, but anyway.
They got a lot of groundwork to lay in Andor, so I'm not surprised it's going to take a while. But.
And that's going to be some fun, slow-rolling type stuff, too. That's long history of the Secret Underground. Everybody we see there, Mon Mothma, Skarsgård, like these guys are all pretending to be like, hey, I'm Imperial just like you, buddy. And secretly with lots of danger. That's going to be amazing. It's going to be really special.
Let me burn you through some other stuff that went on because we're already at an hour and a half.
Time to go.
Avatar showed some footage. The Way of Water, the sequel coming out before the end of the year. James Cameron zoomed in because he was still working on those movies, and
this is going to bomb. I don't think James Cameron. I think I'm going to be the first person in history to say James Cameron has just made too big a movie, spent too much money. I just think it's time that we all doubt James Cameron, right? That's always worked out, right?
Well, doubt him at your own peril, and if I may,
of course,
doubt
he's the most famously badly doubted person.
Doubt David Lowery at your own peril.
Oh, God,
He, of course, made the great Pete's Dragon remake. Now he's handling Peter Pan. And again, he makes these Disney movies in order to get the money to make a ghost story. And
I know, right?
Yeah. And so he's got this most eclectic film career. And
he's one for me, one for them.
Yeah. Well, there was also some Disenchanted trailer and poster came out, the sequel to Enchanted, which I've never seen.
No, me neither.
Hocus Pocus 2, a new trailer. There was a teaser. Now a full trailer is out for that. That opens September 30th. I saw the first one finally for the first time during pandemic. Didn't care for it. They're doing Snow White again. I don't know why, but they are. Rachel Zegler from West Side Story with.
Well, that's why you do it.
Yeah, I guess.
Really? You don't want to see her as Snow White? Not at all? Not a little bit?
I'm good with Snow White.
No? You don't think Snow White's charm, she might have a little of that?
Put that energy into a Star Wars movie.
Well, they're going to make one of those anyway, so what are you even arguing?
That I don't need another Snow White movie.
Why not?
Because I've seen the story a bazillion times. I don't need to see the Snow White story.
But you don't like the Hans Christian Andersen one more than the Disney one.
I don't care what it is. I'm done with Snow White.
But you weren't done after Hans Christian Andersen. You wouldn't have said no way to the Snow White, the original Disney one.
You're not going to... Yelling at me isn't going to get me psyched to see a Snow White movie that I already don't want to see.
So after Hans Christian Andersen, we're done with Snow White.
I never even read Hans Christian Andersen.
See?
In the movies enough.
He's frozen any wage increases. He's put a stop on all overtime.
He's going to make Snow White, and they're going to remake 12 more Disney movies.
100. I was going to make it 90, but 100's all right.
Let's get into what I like. Pixar. See, they're not. Hey, you know what? They're not going to make another Pinocchio. They're doing something entirely original called Elemental.
Yeah, they've gone to elements.
Where the elements live. Yes, fire, water, earth.
They've now adapted the elements.
Yes. So, the Haunted Mansion announced that Jamie Lee Curtis is going to play Madame. What's her name? Elote? What's her name? Elote? Elote.
Elote.
I like Elote. Madame Leota. Yes, if you see the floating head in the Haunted Mansion, that's her. So there's a Jamie Lee Curtis dance going on, and she's going to be in that.
So they're making a Haunted Mansion movie to erase the memory of the Eddie Murphy one, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro was going to do it at one point. I don't know if he's still producing it, but I'm not sure.
I don't know if any of us could handle that.
Exactly.
Give it to Tim Burton.
This is Win or Lose, Pixar's first long-form animated series. It's going to be one ball game told through the different perspectives of all these characters.
Oh, God. Well, they're just the premises these guys execute on. It's incredible.
And Will Forte voicing the lead character.
Great
then they hinted at Elio, which is coming out in spring 2024. America Ferrera cast as a kid who gets accidentally beamed into space and mistaken for an intergalactic ambassador.
Right on.
Iwaju? Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but they just had the first on Disney Plus Day, the first series on Disney Plus that was produced in Latin America. This will be the first long-form series in collaboration with Pan-African Comic Book Company.
Oh, wow. Kugali, I assume.
I believe you're correct.
They're so good at doing the international flavor and focusing on, to other cultures and I mean, like ever since back in the day, like Disney would do documentaries and stuff and introduce, in their own 50s way, but they've always been very interested in multicultural. That's like not a new like woke thing of like, ooh, let's discover other countries and the traditions and the like that. Disney's always been really good at that,
It doesn't seem it doesn't seem sort of like hip and of the times. I think they've always done it. And they're going to be classic. Go ahead.
No, it's interesting. It's a comic book company too. Is that what you said? Is that
I didn't write it down. I didn't write it down.
Okay.
I don't know. Let me look it up.
No, it's okay. I didn't look it up either.
No, I just I only need 1 second.
キリンラゲビールください。キリンラガーね、そこは取ってください。焼きそばちょっと待ってください。栓抜き柱にあります。今行きます。
あ、グラス、あっち。ミスタービール、キリンラガービール。どうも、これサービス。
Okay, Waju is a long-form series, and it is... Wow, they don't say.
No?
They've shared a first look. They didn't say it was animated or live. It is from Kugali, so I guess you've heard of them. I have not.
Kugali.
And then...
No, I just assumed it looked like a co-branding thing at the top, so I assumed that was the comic book company.
I was impressed. I thought you knew what they were talking about. I didn't know that was in the pic.
I just assumed it was Disney Kugali co-production.
But they will be going back to old school filmmaking. There's a movie called Wish coming out, which is how did Wishing on a Star come to be? That's the story here. And Ariana DeBose sang a new song from the film. Alan Tudyk plays a goat. It's got all the good stuff.
This is widely derided online as being the lamest premise of all the shooting star that goes over the castle in the various Disney movies. How did that come to be? Isn't that the idea?
All I read was that how did Wishing on a Star come to be? So.
Wishing on a Star come to be. But they're gonna they understand that's they're not gonna phone it. Nobody phones in movies anymore. That's what's so weird. It's like, yeah, and you know what? You're gonna cry by the end of this silly premise. That's how they'll do it.
And Strange World comes out sooner than that.
This looks amazing.
November 23rd. Yeah, the animation looks really cool.
Oh my God.
They get the voices of Jake Gyllenhaal and Dennis Quaid. November 23rd. They did show some of that to the crowd, but of course it is not online yet either.
That's amazing.
Let me burn through some stuff from my day there, because then
Sure.
we got to get the hell out of here. But I took a bunch of photos to show them off. I went to the Legends ceremony, which I went to a couple of years ago when they inducted Robert Downey Jr. and Robin Roberts and some other people. This year it was Anthony Anderson and Tracy Ellis Ross and a bunch of Imagineers, Patrick Dempsey and Ellen Pompeo from Grey's Anatomy, and these folks from Frozen, Jonathan Groff. Oh, there's Ellen Pompeo. And Josh Gad was hilarious, as I expected him to be. Ever since I went to a Q&A of Marshall with Chadwick Boseman, and he killed. He was so funny in that Q&A. I'm like, the guy just brings it every time, and his acceptance speech was fantastic.
Marshall, directed by
Reggie Hudlin.
Hudlin.
And there's Idina Menzel, 51, still hot. There's Ellen Pompeo. And, of course, it's the 100th anniversary of the Disney Company, so that kicked things off of the whole Legends ceremony. All the characters came out, and you can expect a lot of stuff going on for the 100th of Disney. I mean, it's starting now. And here's all the characters, people just cosplaying it up.
Oh, sure. Is that a combo Darth Vader and Dot Matrix from Spaceballs?
That's a fair question, man. I don't know.
Fair question.
Someone will tell us what that is in the chat.
Yeah.
It's a real-life Pizza Planet truck. Tiana was there to promote the rebranding of Splash Mountain into Tiana's Bayou Adventure, I believe it's called.
Oh.
And I had to take a picture of someone talking about Disney Live Entertainment because, yes, please, live entertainment. You heard me talking about how Jabberwockies is all we got at the Halloween Horror Nights. Disney prides itself on live entertainment, so they always have a lot of live entertainment, which is cool. And this is why I love Disney. They've got a Zootopia ride coming to the theme parks.
All right.
And so they don't just tell you about it, they have a show about it. It's a couple of animals doing construction while their boss over on the left there, a bear, is sleeping. So let the bear puns commence. And you learn about the thing.
Let us not forget that Disney, hey nerds, let's not forget that sometimes Disney does outreach for kids.
That's true. You can learn about that and more at the D23 Inside Disney podcast. Here's Daniel Logan. You know Daniel Logan from Star Wars Universe. He was meeting and greeting people. I didn't meet and greet him, but I did meet Alex Honnold and Jimmy Chin from Free Solo.
Oh,
so that was one of my top.
That's the prequel to Solo: A Star Wars Story, where he climbs the mountain, right?
Correct. Yeah, this is or so I said in my.
These guys are insane, and they're alive.
Zipper promo, I think. Yeah, right. And Jimmy Chin has got a new show coming out on Nat Geo, and this hat I'm wearing is from Epic Adventures with Bertie Gregory, and I watched my Friday ended with a screening of that, then a Q&A with him. This show is fantastic. So I'm all in now on the Nat Geo shows. He goes to Antarctica, films a bunch of stuff you would never otherwise see. He's chasing whales. He's, interacting with penguins. And, he's obviously trying to do good things, trying to track the whales, find out their migration patterns, see what they could do about saving them. And just an amazing show. And much like Free Solo, wisely using the filmmaking process as part of the doc. Just the fact that they get all this stuff shot on this show is incredible. And he's 29.
Nature documentaries are impossible.
Yeah, I'm going to just hit Nat Geo every time I jump onto Disney Plus. If I've seen everything Marvel has out, then I will go right to Nat Geo and check it all out. So I thought I had the pictures from...
I'll tell you, what's annoying about Nat Geo is I'm always looking for a good bit of background, right? Sometimes I've been through every episode of Mask, the cartoon. Sometimes I've been through every episode of the Adam West Batman TV show. I'd find something else. And I always think, Nat Geo, that'll be good. I'll hear the announcement. And then 5 minutes later, the most beautiful photography, I find myself sitting here like this. And I'm like, I got to turn it off. It's not good background.
Yeah, here it is. So there was Jimmy Chin ran the Q&A with Bertie. Again, he's 29, he's young, he's smart, he's legit. It's a real fun show. So I'm going to start watching it. I guess all 5 episodes are out there now of that. Part of the 100th anniversary celebration was a preview of a big museum exhibit that's going to go in Philadelphia.
Wow.
Of course, they had, hey, we remember when Disney purchased Lucasfilm. So they had a little display for that and a display for a lot of the major moments of Disney's timeline. They had a thing where you could pose with the Hulk smashing you. And fun thing they gave out was a New Jersey Avenger Con pass. So I have an Avenger Con pass from Ms. Marvel.
That's awesome.
They had Walt's plane on display. They had Walt's plane. Yeah,
Walt Disney's plane. Oh my God! Yeah. He must have been only 2 people in the country had private planes back then.
Yeah. But, there's all sorts of stories about it. He flew to the Caribbean to get inspiration for the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. He flew back and forth all the time from California to Florida while he was opening Walt Disney World. So that was cool and sort of a step back in time. And Marvel had costumes and stuff from Love and Thunder and Moon Knight. And Adam, that thing happened that you love, where I was just walking along, and then at any minute now, as you're walking along, you could just run into a full-sized, full-on Moon Knight just walking around the convention. I wish I got a photo of that guy because he looked great.
Oh, wow. That is my dream. That is my dream, to run into superheroes in real life.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, and by the way, Werewolf by Night, the reason I know Werewolf by Night to begin with is Moon Knight's very first appearance was in an issue of Werewolf by Night. So my secret hope is that Moon Knight, or at least Mark Spector or Jake Lockley, gives somebody a ride somewhere in the premise of the show. Although it looks like those people are locked in one mansion for 90 minutes and being subjected to all kinds of who knows what.
And I have to mention one more thing I did this last week. There's a couple things I did, but we've run out of time, and that's how it goes. But I did go and see Duran last night at the Hollywood Bowl, the final Hollywood Bowl event of the year.
Oh, yes.
And I have been to the Bowl, I think, 6 or 7 times this summer, but that's a record for me. I think I just was itching for live events to return. But 41 years they've been around. I've never seen Duran, so I checked them off my list last night. But why do I bring this up on a movie show? I think you know why.
Was that last night?
It was, yeah. The last of 3 nights.
Why didn't I go?
Yeah, they played 3 nights. I mean, I just wanted to be there. I sat way in the back, literally against the back wall of the last seats, which is cool because you can stand up the whole time. You can dance. You're not in front of anybody. And, man, the finale was fantastic. Everybody knows this song. And because it was the last show of the summer season, fire.
Her name is Rio, and she dances on the sand.
that part doesn't have to do with movies, but was pretty cool.
No.
So I bring that
That's
up.
awesome.
And they've been doing this forever, and the band sounds great. I was worried about Simon's voice because, if anything, the lead vocals of a guy can go over time. But man, he kept up. I was pretty impressed. He certainly pushed his vocals to the limit on a lot of high things, especially "A View to a Kill." He's like has to be way up there. But he did it, and they never changed the keys. I could tell in any of the songs, and I was impressed. So.
Man, that's awesome. I moved right here next to the Hollywood Bowl, and I've been there twice. Of course, it's for shows I worked on. But
and they did get rained on. Apparently, they commented about it from the stage. They said, like, you don't know rain. We're from England. Like, it's usually sideways and a lot colder than this. Yeah. And it was very cool. They dedicated Ordinary World to the families affected by 9/11 because yesterday was September 11th. And then they dedicated Save a Prayer to the Queen. So it was great. And that Rio finale was just fantastic. So anyway, I talked about seeing Garbage when they opened for Tears for Fears because they did a Bond theme. So it would be right if I didn't comment on Duran coming in.
One of the most famous, one of the most famous, one of the best.
Yeah. I mean, for the love of God, that's all I got. That's enough.
Paul has finally ran out of things to say.
That's not true, but I'm going to stop talking about things.
Moon River.
Using the whole fist there, Doc.
So it seems like we've done a lot of show.
Yeah, the D23 Expo is quite
it's amazing.
Event. Yeah, I was just, again, so impressed. And,
I just couldn't believe all the things I was hearing.
They don't have a ton of hack vendors, which is good. Like, it's mostly high-end stuff, good things. And they have a whole marketplace that's sort of walled in where if you want to go and buy a bunch of Disney stuff, you can go into that area to do it. So mainly the floor is filled with cool interactive stuff. And you can take photos and have them, sent to you. You just scan your badge, your actual badge, not your New Jersey Avenger Con badge, but and so
that didn't get you into anywhere special.
Yeah, and more the photo ops, but a lot of interactive stuff too, which was cool. It's a great event, and God, look at the photos and stuff. Everybody came out to it. Now it's not like we got this guy. I mean, everybody from Marvel and Star Wars came out pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and that's the thing, too. All of this used to occur at the San Diego Comic-Con only. And then everybody else, then Disney was like, well, why don't we do this on our own? I think that's even before they got Marvel. So now Marvel unveiled plenty at San Diego Comic-Con, and then unveiled the rest here. And people were upset. And I'm like, they have to do this twice a year now, or 3 times a year. There's probably some other thing they have to save rumors for as well. And they're all just corporate announcements that they're like, how do we make this corporate board meeting a little more fun?
Yeah, I think it used to be just, vendors, and it was a fan event. And it still is a fan event, but it was like just a mild sort of fans get together, buy stuff, trade pins, and then they get Star Wars and Marvel and go, okay, now we're doing like big experiences, live announcements and things.
So they announced a Werewolf by Night as a huge surprise. Here's the thing: people complaining online probably read that there's probably some rumor that Werewolf by Night, and there's probably somewhere on the internet where you could go read down the entire plot, the entire script, that everything that's going to be in it, Man-Thing's going to be in it, and so then that comes to D23 and they drop that. I go, what? And everybody and all the other people that are complaining are like, well, yeah, no, I knew all that, So and then they're like, why was I so nonplussed by this year's revealing of things that I read rumors on for the last 6 months?
Yeah, just shut up and enjoy it.
Yeah, shut up
and enjoy.
But I mean, it all seemed like everything's revealed seemed like a miracle to me. I mean, yeah, they put up the words "Secret Invasion" a year ago and said they were going to do Secret Invasion, and oh my God, I haven't seen a clip. I didn't know a thing about that. I didn't even know. I mean, maybe that's just my advantage of like not reading any of the rumors stuff anymore. I don't do any rumors stuff anymore, so everything's like exciting and surprising to me.
And you're not going to be disappointed. The leader's showing up again. So You think we're not going to see Black Knight? We are. They don't just introduce him and go, haha. Remember, where's Deathstroke the Terminator? Remember when he showed up at the end of Justice League? It's like, and then you never saw him again.
And then you never saw him again.
We will. But like, you'll see Black Knight. You'll see what's his name, Eros, who's the character.
Yeah.
Harry Styles, but you're going to see him. He guarantee it, especially now that Thor and Hercules are involved. All the gods are getting involved. He's going to show up.
Dude.
These guys, they don't let you down.
They don't let you down. Dude, my favorite Marvel, when I was reading the Armor Wars, the Avengers lineup at the time was Captain America, Eros, Black Knight, Hercules, and Wasp. I'm like, when I see these three characters that are my favorite, like, again, I love all the second thing fan. Never thought I'd see any of these people in any of these movies, much less introduced, especially Black Knight, Eros, Star Fox, and Hercules were introduced so grandly at the end of their movies, almost as if Marvel's just like, guess who's next? I mean, like Star Fox walks in and goes, hey, I'm the guy you're gonna have to explain to the person next to you, nerds. You know, like, but if they're forming that Avengers lineup, if I could actually see those three on the Avengers, oh my gosh.
Well, I thought the same thing with like all this Avengers stuff came and went. I'm like, and we never got any Adam Warlock. Nope, he's going to be in Guardians 3. They'd set him up in 2, and they just sat on him for a while.
Yeah.
And now I saw Will Poulter on the street the other day. He's all
you
jacked
did?
Up now. Was eating in an outdoor restaurant on Tahunga, and he just walked by, and I was like,
nice.
He's all jacked up. He's going to be a great Adam Warlock. They don't let things just don't. They don't even. Bozeman died, which is horrible. Oh my God, talk about the tears, because he was inducted into the Disney Legends as well. Just cried my eyes out. His brother is a preacher, and he spoke about him. And but we're not done with Wakanda. We get another movie. It's like they and they'll do it right, and they bring in Namor to make you remember to give the feeling that something's missing, but you're not missing out on what can be another great Wakanda adventure.
What has always gotten me excited is seeing any live representation of a superhero. I geeked out at that so much as a kid. I've said this 100 times. But like the idea of seeing for the first time in my life live action Namor, because really, who gave a shit about Namor before Marvel did what they did? Seeing Hercules in real life, seeing Star Fox in real life, like, that's all so exciting. It's just, I can't even. And it is really funny, the comparison with DC, because, like, people are complaining that, like, not enough happened at this sort of thing. I'm like, well, let's see how DC fandom goes, okay? Because they've run out of reasons to have one, so they just didn't have one, which is kind of.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, they didn't, did they?
Just not going to happen. What are they going to announce?
We talked about
Should they announce 4 years ago? Because that's what's coming out finally? Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, I feel bad for it. I wish DC were putting out as many movies as Marvel, because I just love seeing live action representations. We'd be up to Ambush Bug by now if they kept putting stuff out, But
Black Adam looks cool with its Wakanda ships and its Jatari and its Iron Man scenes. I mean, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough. We'll do this again next week.
Yeah, let's try it again.
We'll keep going until we get it right.
Up sometime. This is starting to annoy me.
Right,
I need a new opening too.
DC Fandom would announce what they've canceled. Yeah, there you go. All right, goodbye.
You know what? And by the way, last thing I'll say here.
Yeah.
I love that DC just used to announce stuff to just try and compete with Marvel. Like, they're like, well, we can't do with that. I mean, what they're doing is absolutely impossible. So they just used to, like, announce stuff and then it would just go away. Like, and Cyborg will be coming out in the summer 2026. And you're like, all right. And then they just wouldn't release it. And you're like, oh. Like, I think they should, as soon as D23 was over, they should have just announced 6 more movies that they are never going to do. Why not?
Is that the Atom in the, is that his name in the Black Adam trailer?
That is the Atom, yeah. Yeah, there's 2 Atoms. Now, there's Ray Palmer, which was my favorite Atom from sort of the Atom, the 4-issue limited series, and the one from the Justice League. I believe this is the Golden Age Atom, but because it's the Justice Society, so like in the Justice Society, instead of Justice League, was like the 50s superheroes, and so that's Dr. Fate, the Atom, Hawkman, and maybe Owlman will make an appearance. I don't know.
Oh, Night Owl?
No, Owlman.
I'd like Night Owl.
No, Night Owl. No, you're right, Night Owl.
Was it Night Owl from Watchmen?
That is a different Night Owl.
Okay, it's DC though. But
who
am
I thinking of? I thought it was Night Owl, but not the one from that one. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Here it is. Atom Smasher. Right. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, look at this. They all weighed in. This is.
What the hell do I know? I don't know.
Awesome. Yes, but I like the Justice Society.
Then I think it's time to end the show.
It is time to end the show. It's been real.
What?
The hell?
Power Records presents Man-Thing in Night of the Laughing Dead. No longer able to reason, you now function on emotion, those few which you still feel. You can feel what others feel. Consider this weeping clown, for example. What does he feel now as he raises a gun to his temple, as the tears roll down his grease-painted cheeks? You may never know, for across the marshland comes a single devastatingly final shot.